ways to tell if somebody is freaking lying. I've been on this earth now for 21 years, and though I haven't been here for a very long time, I'm very observant, and I've noticed some things about people who tell lies. And so in this video, that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to start off by saying that we're all human, and there have been some times in every man's life where he have told a lie. That's just part of your human nature and whatnot. But what I'm going to talk about in this video are those who seem to have a problem with compulsive lying. Tell lies in every walk of life just to get by. People who often tell lies to get out of sticky situations. People whose lies affect the lives of other people. We're going to start off with exaggeration. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you have noticed certain friends or certain family members who, when telling a story that you happen to be there to witness, they inflate certain details and they add little things that didn't really happen but make the story sound more interesting and whatnot. You know, they exaggerate certain details to make the story sound tripped out when it was really not all that. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. You were there with your cousin when that fight happened, and what you saw was two people scrapping in the mud and tearing hair out and just going buck wild world star hip hop crazy. But your friend, when telling the story about how he won the fight, he's going around saying, man, I judo flipped that nigga, man. You know, I flipped him and then punched him in his face, man. I knocked him out with one punch, dog. But you sitting there like, bruh, he hit you a few times, man. That wasn't no flawless victory, dude. You making it seem like that was like the epitome of an awesome fight, like you an MMA fighter or something. But dude, he hit you pretty good a few times and you did not knock him out. Like, why are you adding that to the story? A person that's simply trying to tell the truth or tell the story the way it is will do just that. They'll tell the story exactly the way it happened. You won't hear no added details or no exaggeration. You just hear the details the way it happened. If you listen very closely to people talk, especially about stories that you were there to witness, if they have a problem with lying, you will hear certain details that are exaggerated to inflate the story into something that it's really not. Just pay attention. Another way to tell if someone is lying to you is the concept of blocking. So basically, what happens when a person is telling a lie is it causes discomfort because they have to try to create a story in their mind off the top of the head, something that will fit in place, something that'll basically free them from whatever they're being grilled on, and that causes a feeling of discomfort in the person's body. So you'll notice it in obvious fidgeting, or they might whip out their phone, or you'll see them if they're sitting at a table or something like that, they'll do anything they can to put something between them and the person that's stressing them out, asking them questions and whatnot. You'll see it in obvious inability to make eye contact, or you'll see them grab something and put it in between them, or they might go and stand behind the chair or behind the table, just anything to put distance between themselves and the person that's talking to them. It's something that you especially see little kids do, like if they get caught stealing cookies or some type of snack out of the snack drawer or closet or pantry or whatnot. But it's just part of the human psyche to do that. It's something that carries on into adulthood. Whenever people tell lies, the same part of the mind that says fight or flight lights up, and they try to either avoid the subject, put something between themselves and the person that's asking them the questions, or they'll try to find some type of reason to not be there in that conversation anymore. Tripped out, huh? Another way to tell if someone is lying or not is, and this is for the people who are able to, they're more advanced at lying, so like they can tell a story and somewhat keep their story straight, but then after they get finished telling their story, you'll see them make like an awkward smile or an awkward face that just really didn't fit. Like you'll see them smile, they'll be like, after they tell their story, or you'll see them add unnecessary emotion to something that they're doing. So like if you ask them a direct question, have you seen the money that was on my desk, man? They look at you be like, oh no, dog, I ain't see that money on your desk. Dang, you mean to tell me people just going around here stealing like that? And they can't look you straight in the face, and they just look so awkward. You know, they making awkward faces and facial expressions and whatnot. It's like, bruh, if you didn't steal my money, when I asked you, have you seen it, all you had to say is just, no, I ain't see it, man. And just keep it moving. But you're adding all this unnecessary emotion in the creative centers of the brain. See, that's your mind trying to create a scene or create facial expressions so that you can do your best to try to make it appear that you're not guilty, because inwardly you feel guilty. Now, this last one is a little tricky to discern, and even psychologists have talked about this before in various studies that they've done on the human mind and observing people in society and whatnot. But inconsistencies in stories. Now, at first glance, inconsistencies in a story sounds like somebody is telling a freaking lie. Like, this nigga lying, dude. You freaking said it was a red SUV with a dude with dreads at the steering wheel, but now you're coming back later and saying the dude had waves and it was a lowrider in Corvette or something. It's like, man, how do you mix your story up that bad? But what you also got to understand is sometimes an inconsistency can show up in a story, not because the person is lying, but because there's so much pressure on the person to tell their side of the story as far as what happened, to where they might get something simple wrong. It might be something like a timestamp of when something happened, or maybe they forgot that it was they don't remember whether or not the day was sunny or not. You know, little insignificant details that don't really amount to anything. The fact of the matter is, they saw somebody get gunned down in the street, and they thought the person was wearing a green shirt at first, but it turns out they were wearing a light blue shirt. You know, little inconsistencies like that don't matter. What you need to know how to do is distinguish between little small insignificant inconsistencies like that and the inconsistencies that we see in the news from time to time, where you might have a white woman lying and saying that she saw a black guy robbing a liquor store when it was really a young white woman. No, there's a difference between a guy who is particularly not sure about the height of a man that he saw mugging a young lady and taking her purse, and a guy who's saying that he saw another dude in a red SUV run over 12 people in a parking lot, and then the next day his story changes from a red SUV to a blue Corvette, and now instead of 12 people, it's 4 people that were ran over. It's like, man, your story didn't change to the point to where it's a subtraction of 8 people from those that were killed in that parking lot. And now instead of a red SUV, it's a blue Corvette. Like, make up your mind, dog. Your story is the epitome of inconsistent as a male roach laying eggs. You know, if you pay attention to people, you will notice even more telltale signs if a person is lying or not. If you just simply observe people. There are many more things that I could talk about in this video, but those were the top 4 that I felt the need to outline in this video. So with that being said, I'm gonna say subscribe to my channel, like, dislike, and you can comment and share this video. Also, I got more videos coming very soon, so be on the lookout for those. And I got a couple of other things that I'm gonna do with my channel really soon. I ain't gonna announce nothing, but just be on the lookout. I got some good stuff. I got some announcements coming soon that I hope you all look forward to. So with that being said, I'm gonna say peace.